Hey YouTube, in this tutorial we'll be talking about the for loop. A for loop, unlike the while loop, does have a set length that you set up within the loop, and it's a lot better for if you have like a set value, or if you have something to, let's say, iterate through a bunch of things, but it's not like an infinite amount of time. A while loop, it'll just go and go and go and go. A for loop has a start and a finish. And for that, it's actually very useful when combing through arrays, or when you're dealing with set things. If you're following like some of the Unreal Engine tutorial videos that I'm doing, you'll notice that for the procedural generation video, I was actually using for loops in order to create the blocks in that 3x3x3 grid that you saw the actual building made out of. So they're very useful. In fact, this is probably the more useful loop to use. So here we go. For loop is written like this. You start with for, open close parentheses, and you have three parts to it. The first part is where you have an integer that you'll be using for the actual counting. So int I, set it equal to 0. The next part of the loop, you'll be setting your statement. It's a conditional statement, such as if I is less than 10, or we'll say if I is less than or equal to 10, to count from 0 to 10. And then the last one, you do I plus plus. What that means is that it will do I and then move it up by 1. And so if I is 0, it'll check to see if I is less than or equal to 10, and then it'll turn I into a 1 and repeat until I becomes greater than 10. Then it will end the loop. So we'll do a cout and say I is, do another one of these, put down the value of I, and end the line. And then you'll see when we go here, it'll say I is 0, I is 1 to 10. One of the nice things that you can do with looping statements, though, is you can put a loop within a loop. And that's actually how I approached the procedural generation building. I did it 3 times, one for the x values, one for the y, and one for the z. So we'll do this again but instead of I, we'll do int j equals 0. J is less than or equal to 10, j plus plus. And then we'll do another cout and say j is, list out j, and end line. By doing this, what's going to happen is that for every one instance of I, it will do the j loop those 11 times, because it's going from 0 to 10, which it counts 0 and it also counts 10, so technically it's 11. So it'll go from 0 to 10, and then we'll go to the next one, 0 to 10, next one, 0 to 10. So you can see this. And go to the top. Notice how I is 0, it does, and then so 0 to 10, I is 1, j is 0 to 10, so on and so forth. And it'll parse through every single one of those instances. So that's a for loop. I hope that this makes sense. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.